Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, Happy everything. We end the year on a rather solemn note, if I do say. The fire is crackling, the gingerbread cookies are baking, and of course I have a delicious stuffed human being that I kidnapped. I think I'm going to serve him to the homeless later. They should be grateful that I want to give them my gifts and my feast. But this Christmas episode, and this year in general, was a rather special one. But I swear to God, if I hear one thing about Jesus Christ this year, I'm going to burn down a church and a synagogue. Oh, you know what? I'll just burn down anything I see. Anyways, Merry Christmas to you and a Happy New Year.
Disgusting. I really want to shower, but I'm gonna wait till after, obviously.
Well, good thing we can't smell you in a podcast.
Yeah, it is a good thing. I didn't finish every issue, if I'm being honest.
Ooh.
Okay, how far did you get?
Halfway through the third.
Ooh.
You couldn't read 6 issues?
I couldn't. Just a bunch of shit came up, honestly.
Boo.
I know. I'm sorry.
You good, Cody?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
High as a kite, baby.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I'm pretty high.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, your boy, about 30 minutes before he left the restaurant, took an edible.
Nice. I just, I didn't eat it. I'm not going to eat it tonight, but I found this edible at the smoke shop. It's a Wonka bar edible.
Oh, God.
Nice.
I hope it's good. It says 300 milligrams, so that's a big one.
Nice.
Nice little treat.
Yeah, I've been taking little 50 milligram gummies.
Ooh.
And I'm high. They've been crushing me.
Yeah, like I when I eat edibles, if it's like 20 milligrams, that's kind of like it's good, but it's not good enough. Like I need something like more powerful than that. So 50 sounds like a sweet spot, but maybe too much.
50 gets me dummy high.
Jared said he might say hello later.
Dude, Jared's a bitch.
Yeah, true.
No, I can't wait to say hi to him. That's hilarious. Dude, are you pumped about your festival?
Yeah, dude. I think it's going to be sick.
Dude.
Like an all-day affair.
Good soul?
There's a lot of good. The whole lineup is stacked.
Wait, where you're going to a music festival?
It's here in LA. It's on Saturday. It's called Once Upon a Time in LA. It's like Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent, YG, Al Green.
Travis Scott?
No. Who else? A bunch of other people. I forget. Honestly. It's a big lineup.
Are you going there for anyone specific, or you just like the lineup is sick?
Just the lineup is pretty stacked, honestly.
Nice.
George Clinton and the Parliament Funkadelics will be there.
Dude, I've seen them twice. They still got it.
I've seen them a few times. One time I saw them, I was actually not impressed. I saw them at House of Blues in New York or BB King's, and he was just old. Like he sat down. Yeah. He sat down a lot.
Oh yeah, I wasn't impressed with him as much as his band and show.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of BB King's now.
So this will be my second time seeing Parliament Funkadelics. One might say it's the second coming.
Ooh, there's a good one. I tried. That's one I was going to say BB. Speaking of BB Kings, the King of Kings. But then that sounds too religious.
The King of Kings.
The King of Kings.
Well, that's right. That's the subject of today's special Christmas episode.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Let's call it Christmas and Chronic. Today we're talking about a comic called Second Coming. The comic was originally supposed to be a DC comic. I think we might have talked about this on another episode, but it was going to be a DC Vertigo comic, but they were like, oh, this is too controversial and we got to cancel it. or not cancel it, but delay publication. And so they had to switch to Ahoy Comics. I don't know if you guys have read anything from Ahoy Comics.
No.
Mm-mm.
They kind of popped up in the last, I don't know, like 3 or 4 years, maybe. Like Mark Waid, I think, has written for them. Like writers that are established, but also like really indie writers have written for them.
What's it called again?
Ahoy Comics.
Oh no, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, I see their books a lot in stores, but nothing really quite grabbed me. But this book did. I'm sure like most people haven't heard about it. Like if I didn't tell you guys about it, had you ever like even seen it or?
No, I've never seen it.
Right, it's like it kind of went under the radar. I think it's because of like the whole controversy about it. But I don't think it's very controversial. I wanted
It's
to
so unoffensive.
Yeah,
right?
I agree. It's really not that offensive.
Yeah, it really isn't. And if anything, I think like the writer Mark Russell. So it's written by Mark Russell with art by Richard Pace, and I think it's actually kind of true to Jesus. Like he tries to write Jesus as like a legit dude. Like he's Jesus, but like he has his issues. You know, he's not perfect. He's like still kind of dealing with the same issues he did when he was like alive, if he was a real person.
Yeah.
But basically the plot of the story is that God commands Earth's mightiest hero, Sunstar, who's like a Superman analog, to accept Jesus as his roommate and then teach Jesus how to use power more forcefully. Because Jesus is kind of like a pushover, but like Sunstar is a Superman analog, but he's not like straight up Superman. He's kind of a dick sometimes.
Yeah, he's a unpolished Superman. Superman if he's a little rough around the edges.
Yeah, not like dark or gritty, but just kind of
like Homelander, but
yeah, definitely not like Homelander at all.
Yeah,
but definitely not
a Boy Scout. I think that would be the best way to put it.
That's true.
Yeah,
and we find out that Sunstar, he's married, or is he married? I don't know. Yeah, or is his girlfriend?
No, at the beginning he's not.
At the beginning, he's not. Right. Sorry, that's the end. He proposes at the end.
No, they actually have the wedding in the comic.
Did I forget that? Holy shit!
Wow,
Yes, he
did
gets
you even
married.
read the comic, Anthony?
Yeah, did I? Do I only just know the synopsis and I didn't read it?
Look at you, poser!
Hey, I'm high. Whoa, I thought Cody was the poser.
Yeah,
That's true. He is our residential
You're
poser.
trying to take my title away from me?
Our resident poser.
The king of posers.
Dude, I really like this book. It was very wholesome.
Yeah.
And I like that about it.
Yeah, Mark Russell's a great writer. I first read, like, he first did for DC, like, the Flintstones. He did a Flintstones reboot, and I didn't like
a comic run of it.
Yeah, and I didn't gravitate to it because I'm like, the Flintstones. Like, why do I want to read?
Who cares?
Yeah, but then when I did read it, I was like, holy shit, it's kind of clever and it's just different. It's like there's a political slant to it that it's smart. It's really cool. And then he did something similar with this old school cartoon character, Snagglepuss. Do you guys remember Snagglepuss?
Of course. Snagglepuss.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And he did the Snagglepuss. He did the Snagglepuss Chronicles. And that was amazing. That blew me away. That would be another great one for us to do.
Did he just do a bunch of Hanna-Barbera cartoons?
At first, yeah, because DC kind of was doing this thing where they came out with like Hanna-Barbera, like comic book versions. A lot of it was one-shots, but they did some series, or mini-series rather. So that was like just like 6 issues.
Okay.
But it's really good. It's really smart. Again, it's like, it almost reminds me of Black Sad in a lot of ways, because it's a cat. And it takes place like during the Cold War, like McCarthy era.
Snagglepuss?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Dude.
Like, Mark Russell is great. Like it just works in a way that you just didn't expect. And again, like Snagglepuss, I'm not like, oh, I need to buy Snagglepuss.
I do.
Has he done a mainstream comic that I would know?
So here's the thing: like he's done those, right? And then recently he did Wonder Twins for DC. And that's another thing where it's just like Wonder Twins, but he makes it works. Like he makes it work in a really cool way.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, he hasn't really done anything too mainstream besides that.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. So, I'll admit I didn't finish it. It didn't grab me, to be honest.
I feel like Jake wasn't going to like it.
You said that. Hold on, guys. We have a residential cameo here.
Oh, shit.
Oh, look who it is.
What up, niggas and niggettes? What's poppin', kid?
What
Hey,
up,
look,
Jared?
Cody,
Good
what
to
up?
see you, my man.
Nacho.
What's up, Jared? Nice to meet you.
I can't hear
He
you.
said, "What's up, Jared?"
It's all good, yo.
And I said, nice to meet you. Oh, did take that part out.
Listen, I wasn't invited, you know what I'm saying? Next time, y'all, you know what I'm saying, invite a nigga in on the set, just for, 10, 15 minutes, So
Dude, we'll let you in for sure, bro.
For a whole episode.
He said,
dude.
"We want you
Hey,
for a whole
fucking love you,
episode."
dude. I
Well, y'all
love
need to
you.
get a nigga in there. You know where I'm at, Hit me
Dude,
up,
I love
you know. Love you, Cody.
I've told them how
I
funny
love
you
you,
are.
bro.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Hey, yo, for real, put a nigga on just one episode. That's all I need.
Yo,
We're
how
gonna do
about
it.
my
Tell him
guy?
we're gonna
We got-
do it.
They'll do it. They'll do
Jared can't hear
I
what
like
I'm
them
saying.
curls, Cody.
No, he can't hear us.
Tony.
And that was a Jared moment brought to you by Comics and
That was
Chronic.
the most way Jared can introduce himself on the podcast.
Yeah.
Dude, the most.
Well, we'll have a second coming of Jared for a real episode.
Honestly, we've just been laughing ever since I picked him up from the airport.
Oh, you know it.
It's just been nonstop, loud, obnoxious
Geek fest.
laughter. Yeah. We're going to piss
Hell
people
yeah.
off tonight.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you guys are going to be on your worst behavior.
Oh,
Yeah,
of
it's gonna
course.
get rowdy, it
We're
sounds
already on our worst behavior.
Hell yeah.
Yo, so
Yeah.
Jake, why didn't you like it? And why did I think you weren't gonna like it?
So it's funny. So I didn't finish it because, well, it was actually like, I'm not going to lie. It was funny. I did actually find myself like laughing, like the dialogue and like the whole mocking the religion, which wasn't offensive at all. Just like,
Yeah, it was like poking at the like not even poking fun. Like it was like straight up saying like these are like the inconsistency. Wow, I can't talk. These are the inconsistencies in Catholicism or Christianity rather.
Yeah.
And showing how like people who claim to be, religious don't act like it very much.
I'll finish it honestly, but yeah, even when I was reading it, it was kind of a struggle to finish it.
Interesting.
See, if I'm being honest,
It didn't
I wasn't-
grab me.
Fair
at
enough,
the
fair
beginning. Okay, so out the gates, I knew what it was going to be.
Okay.
What do you mean?
I was like, oh, this is going to be an entire. The story is just going to be God's a dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's pretty cool. But then it kind of tapered off around it. And I agree with you, Jake. That being said, it ended strong as hell. I know you can't talk about it yet, but the ending was really strong.
I'll finish it. I'll honestly finish it and then I'll let you guys know on another
Yeah,
episode.
I honestly think you would like the ending because it involves Satan. Well,
Nice.
we could talk about it. I
Yeah,
guess
talk
should
about it.
we?
I don't care. Spoil it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so at the end, Jesus kills Satan.
Whoa. How?
I think he just stabs him.
Yeah, so basically Satan's about to stab Jesus with this like special dagger or something, and Jesus is just like he defends himself. Like he's like, I guess I'm not perfect, and he defends himself and kills.
Why did they fight though?
Satan's trying to earn his way back into heaven.
Yeah, like
Okay.
he's the villain of the comic basically, and he's still trying to tempt Jesus. Like that's a big story in the Bible where he tempts Jesus in the desert, and
Yeah,
Jesus
yeah.
is like, "Fuck you! Like I'm not gonna fall for this."
Yeah.
But like he does it in a more clever way. Like I guess Mark Russell found a easier, like a more updated way for like Satan to try to tempt Jesus.
Yeah.
And he kind of backs him in a corner. I feel like,
Yeah,
but
Okay.
that's Satan for you.
That's good old Satan.
yeah.
I did like the art, to be honest.
Yes,
Yeah.
the art is great.
The artist really. Who's the artist? Is it the same?
So the artist is Richard Pace, right? And he,
Yeah.
he specifically like he draws when it's like the biblical. Why can't I talk today?
Yeah,
Holy
it's that
shit!
edible.
I didn't even eat the
Oh,
edible.
yeah.
That's me, buddy.
I'm just high. But whenever he shows like the parts with God and Jesus or in heaven, the art's more, I don't know how to describe it. It looks different, like more like a painting almost.
Hmm.
And then when it cuts to like Sunstar or Jesus on Earth or anybody on Earth, it's more cartoonish.
I agree. That's true.
Which I thought was cool. I thought that was a cool way to separate the two worlds.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see that artist do like more shit that I would read.
Yeah, I don't know what Richard Pace has done. Again, like Ahoy Comics, they don't really have like, the A-list roster. Not that this is an A-list. I'm just, like I don't know these people.
Yeah. So they sound like that, almost like an independent, like TKO type shit.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's has a bit more like, actually, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't know how to say like what level that is, but yeah, they're just indie for sure.
Yeah.
Because TKO does have like Greg Rucka and stuff. You're right. So
I could see this comic being made into like a show, like a little miniseries, like on Netflix.
I think it might be. I don't
Really?
know.
I bet it's
At
been
the very
optioned.
least-
I bet someone's like passed it around.
Yeah,
Hollywood.
Because maybe like DC doesn't want to have their hands on it for a comic, but for a TV show, I'm sure like anybody would do it.
Why didn't you think I was gonna like it?
I don't know. It just because I liked it too much. I feel like sometimes we don't like the same things.
Yeah, sometimes, but I don't know if that's like by and large. But I could tell, like, yeah, I felt like I wasn't going to like it before I started reading it.
Yeah, it's just like the premise has to get you. And I felt like when I've described it, it always seemed like Cody liked it more than you.
Okay.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Because Cody, of course, is our resident Jesus as well.
Yeah, he knows all about Jesus.
I love Christ.
No, but the reason I'm saying that is because, as you guys know, we were in comedy school together, and part of comedy school was doing sketch comedy. Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about,
And I wrote a sketch called Awkward Teenage Jesus, and of course, I cast Cody as Jesus and Jake as Judas.
Yep. It was me.
I always loved that sketch, except for when Steven Rosenfeld added that thing for me to say.
Oh yeah. What was the line that he added?
Oy vey or something?
No, it was pretty much like, it wasn't oy vey, but it was in that same vein. You said, I forgot what Cody says, but then I say, why not? Like a Jew.
Oh yeah.
Which to me wasn't funny for a few reasons. One, it just wasn't funny.
Yep.
B, it was inconsistent with how I had been talking the whole time because I'm kind of like a bro.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, yo, dude, like, don't trust that bitch. And then, she's a real Benedict Arnold.
Steven Rosenfeld was out to get all of us.
That was a perfect sketch until he added that one line. I always felt self-conscious about performing that line, honestly.
Yeah, I didn't like it either, but like, he was like, oh, we have to leave it in. Because I think we fought for it too, and he's like, no, we should change it.
Yeah, he was adamant. But that is a good sketch, like, honestly.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's the sketch I'm most proud of for sure.
Yeah,
I just loved writing it.
You should honestly, like, refilm it. You should just refilm it for YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I was honestly thinking...
I mean, like, maybe punch it up and change it, but like, you know what I mean? Like, make it for today, but...
Right, but I always felt like what made it work and what I loved about the class, and the same thing, was that you were allowed to pick who you wanted to be in the sketch in the class.
Yeah.
And I immediately wanted, like, I kind of wrote it for you guys. And like, the chemistry you guys have always had together, even back then, it just works. Like, well, I'll post this on our Twitter, or we could post it on Instagram. I have the video from when we performed it, or they performed it live at Gotham Comedy Club.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. A lifetime ago.
Yeah.
It was a lifetime.
A decade ago.
Oh,
we were just little babies.
We were innocent little babies.
Little baby Jesus.
Baby Jesus.
Oh, yeah. And of course, Amina Amani, the famous stand-up comedian, is also in that sketch.
Yeah.
Oh, she was your mother. Yeah, Mary.
Yeah, she plays Mary.
Yeah.
She only has like one line.
And Ariel played Mary Magdalene.
Mary Magdalene, yeah.
Wait, I have to ask, as a Catholic, how did your parents react to that sketch?
Oh no, first of all, my parents aren't like uber religious people at all. I think they liked it. I think everyone who has seen it liked it. I don't think it's offensive. We weren't trying to be offensive.
Yeah.
It's just, again, like this comic, it's just like, it's easy to be funny about Jesus. I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember one of the first, like, when, that little room in Gotham Comedy Club, the one below?
Yes.
What's the name of that room? Do you guys remember?
Mm-mm.
But you don't talk about.
I don't.
I think one of the first sets I ever did, I had a lot of jokes about working for Italians, and I think, Anthony, like, a lot of your family was there.
Oh, really?
And it went over very well. I just know there's a bunch of Italians that were cracking up at my shit.
Nice. Well, first, my family has a great sense of humor. That's, I think, where I get it from. You know what I mean? Like, my family likes to joke around, especially about dark shit, too. So there's no end to, like, what we'll laugh about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Speaking of dark shit, I gotta interrupt real quick. Dude, you're fucking... use Thunderbolt Pikachu while in the bathtub. Dude, had me geeking.
Dude, that shit cracked me up.
Dude, had me geeking the fuck out.
I was like, I gotta send this to these guys. I saw it on Twitter, like, right as soon as I saw it, I was like, I'm sending it right away.
That was funny as fuck.
Dude, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh. It was a good laugh.
Shit, I'm out of beer. Should I grab another one or no?
Yeah, grab another beer.
All right.
Yeah, dude, make yourself at home.
I will. Wait, how's the jobs going?
Dude, they're good. One of my jobs is insane.
Like,
one of my jobs is the weirdest restaurant I've ever worked in. It just doesn't even seem real. Like,
what do you mean?
Nobody seems to know what they're doing, but I'm like, how do they stay afloat? But I'm making money while I'm working there, so You know,
Well, that's good.
it's weird. I feel like I don't want, all of the people are super nice, but I told my roommate, I was like, it feels like somebody just told a bunch of aliens what working in a restaurant was like, and this is their best like impersonation.
Okay.
Like it just doesn't.
That's
It's
so
so
weird.
strange there. I don't know that I'll be there that long. I'll probably just work through the holidays, maybe into mid January or something. Try to find something better.
Dude, that's how I felt when I used to do Ted Greenberg's one-man show.
Oh my god, another ACI. Fucking.
Do you remember that?
Yeah,
Yes.
Have you ever seen the show?
yeah.
No.
Oh no, Anthony, you never saw it?
I never went to that.
I liked it the first time I saw it.
Yeah, it's good as a one-time thing.
Yeah.
But man, that shit sucked. He fired
You were
me.
his mascot.
I was the mascot. It was so weird.
Ted Greenberg mascot. Does he still do comedy?
I think he does.
Yeah, he's 1,000 years old by now. I'd say
He's also, so I always used to wonder how that show turned a profit, because sometimes he'd be like, oh, tell your friends to come, we'll give them free tickets. And I looked him up and he's the son of a billionaire.
Jesus.
Yeah, so he's not struggling.
I
But you know who does struggle?
Jesus.
was going to say Sunstar and his girlfriend are not allowed to get married. They struggle because now I'm remembering it. They can't get married because legally Sunstar isn't a human.
Yeah.
So it's like she's like interspecies. Like you can't marry an animal.
What's the wife's name?
Sophia Sharp,
Sophia
What's her
Sharp?
name? Sophia Sharp.
something like that.
That's what it is.
It sounds like a porn star name.
Is it, Cody? Or are you just...
Yeah, you're just listing your favorite porn stars, Cody?
I don't know.
Cody.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
Okay.
I thought it was cool in the book, like going back to the art, that the artist was saying that he tried to make God look like Brian Cox and like a mix of him and Robert De Niro.
Oh.
That's hilarious.
And then Satan was supposed to be a cross between Hugh Hefner and John Lovitz.
That's hilarious.
That's funny.
I could definitely see both of those, but especially the Hugh Hefner and John Lovitz combo.
Yeah.
John Lovitz was in Little Nicky.
Yes. Yes. He's the peeping Tom at the beginning.
Yeah. Little Nicky. That movie was so stupid.
John Lovitz has the best voice.
I like John Lovitz. I think he's funny as fuck.
Oh yeah.
I just I can't redo his voice, but like I remember the radio from The Brave Little Toaster. Like, isn't that John Lovitz?
What's the? I don't know. I don't even know what that is.
Whoa!
You've
wait a
never seen
minute.
the Brave Little Toaster?
No.
What? You've never seen The Brave Little Toaster?
That
No.
movie fucks so hard. That movie's so good.
What is the
It's
Brave
so
Little
good.
Toaster?
Dude, it's an animated movie that came out when we were kids.
Yeah.
And it was about it was basically Toy Story before Toy Story, but with
Exactly.
appliances instead of toys.
Yep. Jake was too busy watching 8mm with Nicolas Cage at
Yeah.
that
I was too
time.
busy watching snuff films when I was a kid.
It kind of is a snuff film.
Yeah. It's pretty dark for a kid's movie.
It's dark.
Damn, I didn't know that.
It's not Disney either, so it's like one of those alternate 90s animated movies, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Dude, and it was so good.
It was. I loved it.
I love that movie.
Have you ever seen the movie We're Back?
No.
Do you
Oh,
know
the
what I'm
dinosaur
talking about?
movie.
Yeah, the dinosaur one.
Like
Dude, that movie used to
these
be dope as
aliens,
fuck.
like, kidnap dinosaurs and make them smart.
Yeah, they make them really smart, but then like I just remember as a really little kid, like the ending gets kind of dark because they revert back to their like full dinosaur form and they start like fucking shit up, and
Yeah.
the little girl's like, "No, please." And, yeah, that's a great movie. There. Yeah, We're Back.
Dude, I forgot about that movie until just now. I forgot that was a thing.
It's a good movie.
I don't know that I saw it, but I remember seeing the trailer at least.
Hmm.
Maybe I saw it. I don't know. Not a lot of VHS tapes when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's like one of those, that's another like 90s, like I want to call it alternate movies. Like you have like Fern Gully as part of that. You know what I mean? Do you ever see Rock-a-Doodle? Do you remember that one?
I know what it
Yeah.
is, but I don't think I've ever actually seen it.
It's okay.
Secret of Nim.
Secret of Nim. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that either.
Baby's Kids. That's another
Baby's
like, random
Kids,
90s
I
movie.
Dude, Baby's Kids is awesome, dude.
Yeah, I used to watch it all the time, but the animation is pretty bad.
Yeah, no, it is. It's also like a weird movie, low key. Like I remember watching it as a kid too, and I think now I just remember there's a hilarious scene in Workaholics where like they're looking for something in a college, and Durs goes, he's like, "All right, I'll take the library where the Bebe's kids be at."
I feel like Workaholics always had weird lines exactly like that. Like the way they deliver it is so like
They had good like references too.
Dude, that show was great.
It was great.
One of the better sitcoms of our like adulthood, I feel like.
I'll be honest, I don't agree with that. Like I watched like the first season and like it was almost too weird for me to laugh. Like I didn't think it was not funny, right? But it didn't hit me this
stupid for sure.
Yeah. Like there was one episode where they're like all in the car together, like jerking off, but they're like, "Don't look at me!" Like I'm just like, why are they doing this? Like, what is the whole point of like? I get that it's like funny, but it's also just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there were some funny scenes. I remember this one where like they all do acid, or the girl that Durs wants to fuck does acid, and he pretends to take his tab, but he really doesn't. And they're tripping, and she's like, "How's your trip?" And he's like, "Oh, totally same as yours, just seeing crazy shit." And like, was like, "Whoa, this is crazy." That was funny shit, or not. It's probably funnier watching it than me explaining it.
Yeah, now I never actually want to watch the show again. So thanks for that.
There you go,
dude. I'll watch the show again. I'll do it. Don't you tempt me,
Cody. Well, before you were mentioning how Sunstar goes to like superhero group therapy.
Yeah, I love that shit.
Like there's a Batman analog in there named Night Justice.
Yeah.
You remember that?
He was
and
dumb
there's a really funny scene where like there's someone else in the group and she calls Night Justice out. She's like, "You have $30 billion and all you do is like make grappling hooks and like armor plated cars. And the only job people in your city could get is like henchmen." And he's like, "So what? It's not my fault." Like,
yeah.
Like the book is all about, it's not like we've read a lot of books with analogs, but I don't think this book is really focused on the fact that this dude is Superman. Like he has very Superman qualities, but like we said, he's not like, he's just like not a Boy Scout at all.
He punched people's heads off.
Yeah.
He thought they were robots and he punched their heads off and they ended up being humans in robot suits.
He also like beats the shit out of this guy, no questions asked. I think he fucks up his house too because he thinks he has the address of someone who's harassing his girlfriend.
Yeah.
But it turns out to be the wrong one.
Yeah.
Like he just fucks up this guy's life for no reason.
He kills him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he does kill him. Damn. Why am I like blanking out on like those key moments?
Yeah, dude, he zaps him. He's like, "You motherfucker." Just like pops through the wall. Dude's like, "No, wait." And he's like,
"Wait, so does the Sunstar and Jesus ever fight?"
No.
Like maybe they have like an argument, but not like fight.
Yeah, Jesus almost wins over Sunstar at one point, and then really does later, I feel like.
Yeah. Like the moments with Jesus are cool. I think that's what I like the comic more for, less the Sunstar parts, because Jesus is kind of like finding his way in the modern world and realizing like, oh, like you got my message all wrong. Like you guys totally twisted what I said. You didn't even really hear what I said. And everything you're doing in my name is just kind of offensive in that way. Like, that's why I think it's like, we go back to saying, why is the book seen as so controversial? Like, it's making a great point. Like, if Jesus was really, I mean, I'm not going to speak for Jesus or Christianity or anything like that. But like, it's really down to earth in the sense that it's like so obvious. Like, yeah, if those were Jesus's words, you twisted them. That's clear to see, you know? And Jesus points out the hypocrisy.
Yeah.
But it's also cool how they like, you know, how God is in the comic. Like, yeah, he's a dick, but it's taking like what we read in the Bible to show that God's a dick. Like, you know, he made man and then he like took away paradise.
And the hypocrisy of it.
Yeah, and the hypocrisy of it. Like he doesn't care. He just doesn't give a
like
fuck.
even in the beginning when he tells them not to eat from the two trees, one will let you know good from evil or right from wrong. And then they eat the apple and he's like, "Don't you see what you did was wrong?" He's like, "I wouldn't know until right now."
Yeah.
You
Wait,
can't-
did you guys realize what the fruit looked like?
Was it
Dicks.
dicks?
Dicks and vaginas. It was both. I thought that was kind of interesting.
Well,
I
that
don't know
makes-
why. Like, it was just a cool little detail.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense if like try to hit home that at first there were two, a male and a woman or whatever.
Mm,
I don't know, symbolism, bro.
yeah.
No, I liked that comic. It was wholesome. I liked the way.
Is this it? Is this the entire run, or is there more?
So at first, I wasn't sure if there was going to be another volume, but there is another volume, and I think it's called. What is the second volume called? I haven't read it yet. I do want to read it. It's called Only Begotten Son. So I think maybe Sunstar has a kid and he has powers, and maybe Jesus helps him raise the kid. I'm not entirely sure.
Oh shit!
Because
Hell
like
yeah, dude.
Jesus is like his roommate, but it's kind of like a surrogate for like if Sunstar and his girlfriend were raising a kid. Because Jesus is kind of naive in that way.
Yeah, Jesus don't know nothing,
Jesus don't know nothing.
but he
Yeah.
knows everything. He's the Lord.
How are they going to have like an evil influence without Satan in the picture?
Good question. I don't know. I don't know what the next
I mean,
volume brings.
there were things left undone, like the angel who was like a snitch for Jesus.
Was that the Archangel Gabriel or no?
No, it was like Lucy or something like that.
Lucy.
Lucifer.
Oh.
Ooh.
I liked how when Satan like gets his time to talk to God, they're like talking in a diner, or maybe Satan's just like, giving backstory. But going back to the story when we were talking about in Sandman, like it points out the hypocrisy again of like the whole idea of Satan being like cast out of heaven just because he didn't want to do with God what God said. Like, I don't know, like as shitty as Satan is supposed to be, you always go back to that moment and you're like, even in this story, you're like, well, God is a dick. He's a dick this whole story, and especially then, like.
So is that biblically accurate? That because I never read the actual Bible. Does Satan, is he just someone who like questioned God, or did he actually try to like lead a revolution?
So I think I don't think it's even that insane. Like I think the story in the Bible might be that
you would know. You're our resident altar boy, so you should.
Yeah, I'm
know.
our resident Anthony here, a resident altar boy. This is Christ and Chronic, so God tells, like, Satan is Lucifer, the angel, right? He's the best angel. He's God's favorite.
Yeah.
But then God is like, yo, like, look, I made man. And you know what? I like him better than you guys. So all you angels, instead of bowing to me, you bow to man. And Satan's like, but I love you, God. And God's like, tough shit. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. So God's like, fuck you. You're cast out of heaven. So when you hear the story that way, I think the way I heard that was from, do you guys know Joseph Campbell? Like he talks about the hero's journey. You've heard of like the hero's journey. A lot of movies and stories are all about the hero's journey.
Yes.
Joseph Campbell is like the guy that like kind of like explained that and made it popular. And there was just, I think it was like a PBS thing, and he talks about this. But when I heard the story put that way, I was like, okay, I get this dude. Like that's even sadder in a way. Like Satan was like, it's not that he just didn't listen to God. He was like, he loved God so much that he wouldn't turn his back on him.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I've always been, the devil's pretty cool,
But like it's almost like Santa Claus. Let's bring Christmas into this. Where Santa Claus, the depiction of Santa Claus is made by Coca-Cola, right? The fat dude in the red suit. That's not something that was around forever. Like maybe you have the story of Saint Nicholas or Kris Kringle or whatever the fuck. And that's how I feel about the devil. Like it's not really in the Bible that Satan is like so like fiery and evil. Or I don't even think they mention hell in the Bible. Like it's all this like lore that is headcanon for like Christianity, like
canon for Christianity.
Seriously, like that, because that's the way I look at religion. It's just lore, the same way you would read comics. Like it's just went on way longer, and because people are very crazy about the things they love, and like like Star Wars or Marvel or anything. Like they threaten people's lives because they made Superman gay. You know what I mean? Like
true. Like
there's an extreme crossover there. So I don't know. Like when I was in high school, I took a hard turn where I was like, fuck religion. Like I don't want to, like I grew up as a little Catholic boy, like I believed in all that shit.
Dude, I was religious too growing up.
Right.
Actually.
It's not that my parents were super religious, but like I believed in my head, this was the real story and there was no other story about reality. And then, I got older and I was like, well, this is dumb. Like, And then so I like, I became like almost militant atheist. I don't know if you guys had that phase in your life.
I did
Like,
too.
right?
Yeah.
Like
I never became like militant atheist. I just never like really ever had a moment in my life where I gung ho believed in God.
gotcha.
Oh, your boy did.
Yeah.
I prayed.
Yeah, same. Like I used to lie awake at night thinking I was gonna like burn in hell because I like said the F word
Yeah,
or
dude.
something like
I
that.
remember when I learned of like, I guess like when I grasped what death was and the permanence of it. Like, and I think I was like 8 years old because I remember like going home and like before I went to bed, I like cried. I was like, oh man, like death is like, I'm going to die one day. But I don't know. Did you guys ever have a moment where you like grasped, like your childlike mind grasped what death truly was?
Bro, I ain't never gonna die.
Yeah, Cody's immortal, first of all.
Yeah, Cody can't die. It's true. God tries every year to kill Cody and fails.
Yeah, he's unsuccessful.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that like the way I thought about death was just too religious. That's why I said so. I thought, yes, I'm gonna die, but if I die, I'm either gonna go to hell or go to heaven. But then one day I got more scared of the idea of heaven because like it's just like, okay, you're dead, but you're dead forever and ever and ever, and it just never ends. And that was scarier to me, that there's like literally no end, even if it was the best possible fantasy imagination afterlife that you could think of, it still would never end. That's kind of scary to me, or it was scary to me as a kid at that phase. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I never like really believed in either too hard, heaven or hell.
I was an imaginative little kid, dude. I believed in him. I was into that shit, dude. I was really religious growing up. Like I had read the Bible.
We were heavy into the lore.
I had read the Bible multiple times.
Oh, you've read it?
What?
Yeah, I did like entire book reports on it when I was homeschooled. I
Wow.
used to read the Left
Damn.
Behind series.
Oh my god. Can
Like,
you explain what that is real quick?
What? Wait, what is Left Behind?
It's this ridiculous Christian series about the rapture, and it's so bad. It's really bad. But I was like 9 years old or something like that, and I was like, "This shit is dope." There's like it's like crazy. There's like espionage and all kinds of. It gets. I think I read like the first 3 or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is funny that this comic is all about, like, that's what the rapture is, right? It's the second coming. When Jesus comes back, the rapture starts. Like, that's the beginning of Armageddon. But in this book, that's not how it is. They don't even really... Oh, well, Satan tries to make Armageddon happen, but it's not like a part of the... It's just like not a part of the story, but in the Bible, it would say that when Jesus steps foot on earth again, then the world's about to end and only the chosen ones get to heaven.
So, like, the rapture is not necessarily like it's all out mayhem. Doesn't he just judge you? Doesn't he like point to go heaven, hell, heaven, hell, heaven, hell, right?
I think it's... I watched a YouTube video recently, actually, about it, and it's more fucked up. Like,
it's just like that you watched a YouTube video about the explanation of the rapture is hilarious.
Because I'm like, what? Because it's like the true meaning of the rapture, but it wasn't like religious. It was just like, again, the Bible is lore. So if you actually look in the Bible, it like describes like all these fucked up phases of the apocalypse. Like first, the 4 horsemen come, and that's like famine and war and pestilence, and like that shit has to happen. Like there's so much death, and then there's the rapture, and then there's more death for the people that are left. Like it's just like fucked up. Like the Bible's more fucked up than a lot of like books that kids, it's supposed to be like, oh, it's the Bible, Noah's Ark.
It's fucking horrific.
No,
it's horrific.
Terrible shit goes down.
And Cody, you said you read that multiple times as a kid, so
yeah.
I like that Cody's read the Bible. I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude. I was really religious as a kid.
I can't.
So you are the resident Bible expert for real.
Dude, yeah, I guess. I mean, I was like, I don't know, 10, 11, 12, something like that.
But the point I was going to get at before was that as I got older and like was like less militant, like atheist, I started to be like, let me like approach like if the Bible stories came at me, like more of like regular ass stories,
Come
like
at
not
me,
trying
bro.
to, like not trying to like live my life by this shit, but just like it's a story. So like, what is it trying to say? And a lot of them are boring as fuck, but there's like some interesting, like the Book of Job is kind of cool. Like I don't know if you know about the Book of Job, but it's just kind of like like God and Satan and God are talking,
Oh
and
yeah,
Satan's
they
like,
have like a wager, pretty much.
yeah, it's kind of cool. It's just like it's fucked up. It's the most fucked up
Oh,
story.
it's super fucked up. They're playing with like a man's life.
Yeah,
Right.
they're like,
So, like,
kill
I
his
bet-
wife, kill his kids, see if
Yeah.
he still believes in you and loves you.
Oh yeah, God's crazy, dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. God's crazy, dude.
Yeah.
And that's why we don't stand God on comics.
Wow.
At least not the Judeo-Christian God.
No.
Yeah, dude. I'd fight that guy if I could.
But the Greek gods, I do stand, actually.
They're fucked up too.
They are fucked. They're very fucked up, but I'm down
They
with them.
eat their kids and
What
do fucked
gods?
up shit.
The Greek gods. I was a big Greek mythology fan growing up, so I'm down
Me
with
too.
the gods.
I was into that shit too.
Like Dionysus was always my favorite.
Nice.
The god of the vine.
Yeah. And parties, right?
Parties, but because he was the god of the vine, specifically grapes for wine, he represented so in Rome, Dionysus' name was Bacchus. So a bacchanalia is kind of like a drunken orgy. So he represented like humanity's propensity to either like be fun when they drink alcohol or get so deranged that and this is actually in the Sandman, actually, when
The wedding, maybe? No.
This is in the Sandman when his followers, Dionysus' followers, I think they're called Bacchus in the Sandman, and they're the women, the frenzied women who like rip people apart. Like that's his cult. That, that's Bacchus's cult.
I think that's a big thing about the Greek gods or the Roman gods or both, that they have two facets to them. Like there's the good side and the bad side, or like you just said, like you could be fucked up when you're drunk or have a really good time and be like friendly and whatever the fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ever hear of the Eleusinian mysteries?
No, what's that?
So like back in like Greek times, like there was this like special thing. You would go to like, I think Delphi or something, this island somewhere in Greece or somewhere in Greece.
Delphi where the oracles were.
Yeah, or something like that. And you would go into this underground cavern. Not everybody, I think everybody was allowed to go. You were allowed to make the journey, I think, every year, or maybe once a year, something like that, like a festival or something. But when you go into this place and whatever you do in there, you're not allowed to talk. It's like Fight Club. You're not allowed to talk about it at all. You can't tell anyone.
Delphi is there is no Delphi.
Yeah, like you talk about it. It was penalty of death, actually. But what they think happened there was that they were drinking this concoction. I think they called it soma. And the way they describe it is basically how you describe tripping, like on LSD. So
I've heard that.
It's called the Eleusinian Mysteries because they would like take it and like see visions, like Socrates and Plato. And all the great Greek philosophers did this. And a lot of like people think like maybe that because they did this, that's how they came up with like these not crazy ideas, but like deep philosophical ideas because they were tripping balls.
That makes sense.
Nice.
It definitely makes sense.
Probably. People have been getting fucked up since the dawn of people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Seriously.
Some people also think Jesus is not a real person, but a magic mushroom metaphor.
That's insane.
Maybe. I almost think that Jesus, historically speaking, was a real person. I don't believe the Son of God shit. I have no doubt that during the Roman times, I believe that he did exist, and he probably did tell motherfuckers like, yo, I am the Son of God. And the Romans were like, bro, you're wiling out. We're going to kill you. Like,
yeah.
Like, honestly, I bet there was a dude who started to lead like a kind of like a religious revolution during that time.
But here's why I don't actually believe like he was a real person, because there's really barely any evidence. The funny thing is there's actually as much evidence for Jesus as there is for like Socrates. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, there's enough evidence. It's hard to find evidence for anyone like that back then. But the thing about Jesus is like people wrote about him like hundreds or thousands of years after. Like they actually point this out in Second Coming. He's like, you didn't even know me. What? Who wrote the book of what? Like I didn't know you. Like
that's
you don't know my life.
That's true.
So like that's the kind of things that made me slowly lose like my grasp on religion. Like the more rationally I thought about it, it's like it's a cool story. That's what I'm saying. It's a cool story. Jesus, that's like you don't need it, but Jesus had cool things to say about how to treat people. You know, it wasn't like you don't like, no wonder certain people go so crazy they make a religion about it, but it's not like he was saying anything like, that's what I'm saying. Like the whole point of Jesus in this Second Coming comic is like, he's pointing out how like you twisted his words. Like he never said he didn't like homosexuals or anything like that. That's like poison thoughts from like, you know,
that's Republican Jesus.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. White Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Dude, I love how in modern America, even though we've talked about Superman is more modeled after like Abraham
Moses.
than Jesus.
Yeah.
And but in cinema, we love our Jesus. You know what I mean? Like
Willem Dafoe.
Jim Caviezel.
yeah.
I've never seen that one
Oh,
for sure.
dude, I saw that in theaters and it was hardcore.
Oh, Passion
so
of the
bad.
Christ.
Dude, it was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
It was just brutal. It was like chunks of human going everywhere.
It was crazy watching it in theaters. When I watched it in theaters, people were breaking out into tears crying and like
yeah, dude.
yeah.
Actually, if truth be told,
Yelling,
I only saw it
"Thank
the
you."
one time, but I did like it.
You liked it?
I did. I remember watching it in theaters and I liked it.
It was a crazy movie.
Well, Mel Gibson doesn't like you, Jake. I hope you know that.
That's true. Mel Gibson does not like me, which is interesting considering he works in a town full of people like me.
Yeah. And also, one time my mom met Mel Gibson when she was, and she took a picture with him. And I'm like, you can't take a picture with Mel Gibson. Like, we're Jewish too. Like, we're part Jewish. Like, you can't, that was dumb.
No.
Like, why did you take a picture with him? She's like, oh, he's famous. I'm like, he hates Jewish people.
That's hilarious. Mel Gibson.
And in the picture, it's almost like looks like he doesn't want to be in the picture. Like he's disgusted by the mere presence of my mom.
It just sucks that he is a crazy man because he low-key made some good movies back in the day.
Bangers, bro.
Straight bangers, yeah.
Straight bangers.
Signs. I like Signs. I'm not lying.
Signs
I'm not
is
even
M. Night
saying that as a joke.
Shyamalan.
Yeah, Mel Gibson's in it.
Oh, yeah, you're right. He's in it. I thought you meant like directing. Sorry. I meant like Mel Gibson's directed some straight bangers in the day.
Oh, what else has he directed?
A lot. I forget shit off the top of my head.
Apocalypto. I remember he directed that one.
Apocalypto is actually not bad, if truth be told. It's really not.
I think I was too high and fell asleep.
I think Apocalypse is pretty cool.
I bet. Dude, Mel Gibson's in all of the Lethal Weapon movies.
And Braveheart.
I've never seen Braveheart.
The Patriot. Patriot's crazy, yeah.
The Patriot's insane, dude.
Yeah. Heath Ledger's in it. Young.
I know. Yeah. So, doesn't Mel Gibson stab someone with the American flag?
Hell yeah, dude. Like a fucking goddamn American.
Dude. You know it. You know Mel Gibson is going to stab someone with a... Like, you could say that in real life and people wouldn't be that surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised if in the news tomorrow we found out Mel Gibson killed someone with the American flag.
Who would win in a fight?
Okay.
Just straight up fist fight. Mel Gibson versus Nicolas Cage.
Mel.
I'm going to say Mel too.
You're going to turn your back on our boy Nick?
I'm not turning my back, but Mel's a rowdy motherfucker.
And he's a solid dude. He's got big hands.
Yeah, he's actually not a small guy. And he's Australian.
Australian, mate. Mel
originally, right? He doesn't have an accent, but I think he's originally Australian.
I think he still kind of has an accent. I don't know.
Oh, does he? Okay.
I think we're so brainwashed by his
anti-Semitism.
Yeah. Here you go. Anti-Semitism.
Yeah. Well, whatever. If he made a good enough script, I would do it.
Yeah, dude.
Jake turning on his people hard in the Christmas episode.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you would do this on Christmas.
You goddamn right.
Jake is the Satan to Mel Gibson's God.
Oh, shit.
You bow to only him.
I think I'd be rooting, dude. This is another case. I'm going to be rooting for the devil.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, cool.
Got to root for Jake.
Root for me. Woohoo!
Jake, you would be a good devil.
I think I would be.
Let's redo awkward. Okay, let's redo awkward teenage Jesus, right? Except it's not. You're not a teenager anymore, Cody. It's you. It's if Jesus continued living.
I'm mid-30s.
Mid-30s Jesus.
You're 33-year-old Jesus.
But you're mid-30s Satan at the same time, Antichrist, and your roommates. So we'll steal from this a little bit.
Oh, that's cool. Dude, you should write that. I would do that.
Let's do it. I'm going to start writing it.
I'm so down for that.
I'm going to use all my knowledge of the Jesus lore and put it to good comedic use.
Hell yeah.
I have one more weird Jesus fact for you guys. Let me get it out of my system.
All right.
So apparently, Lucifer is like the life bringer or something, or the light or something.
I think he's the light bringer.
Lightbringer, right?
Yeah.
And so I was watching another YouTube video that was saying that it's like a mistranslation almost, and that Lucifer is probably just Jesus. That whenever they describe Lucifer, they're just describing Jesus with different words, because they also describe Jesus with using the word light a lot of the time. You know what I mean?
Oh wow.
So it's giving further proof that the Bible never really even talks about Lucifer or Satan that much. Yeah,
Okay.
Exactly.
How many Joe Pesci's would you guys give it? I don't know if my vote counts because I didn't finish it.
Give it a halfway rating.
I was going to give it a 3.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Putting it into perspective, it was a comic I really liked. I recommend it highly. Like, I would say go out, because it's a comic. We're just talking about a comic. I say go out and buy it. If anything we talked about piqued your interest. It's not the best comic in the world. It's not Watchmen. I can't give it a 6. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I like Mark Russell's other stuff a bit more. I'm going to give it 4.5, but with a star that says, I liked it. I've read it a few times. I really like it, but it's different. You need to be in the mood for it.
Okay. That's fair.
Like Christmas time.
Surprisingly, I'm going to give it a higher score than Anthony.
Oh.
Oh.
I think I'm going to do a 5.1.
Nice.
I like the point 1 there.
5 1/10 of a Joe Pesci.
Yeah. One little tiny tangerine size.
Joe Pesci. That's hilarious.
All right. Then I say that about does it for the Christmas episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Go out, burn some shit down.
Be merry.
Drink some eggnog.
Make merry. Yeah, in the Green Knight they said that because it took place during Christmas.
Make merry.
Like, go and make merry. Like, have fun.
I hope we did a good job of keeping the Christ in Christmas for all you Fox News watchers.
Yeah, we know the commies love Christ. And we talked a lot about the Bible today.
Yep. We did. All right. Well, that about does it, folks. Merry Crimbus. Happy holidays.
Happy Christmas.
Merry Chrysler.
Hi, you're listening to Comics and Chronic, and I'm Jacob H.
I'm Cody Cannon.
And I'm Anthony Iannaccio.
And you can tune in every Thursday to hear new episodes of Comics and Chronic.
And make sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Comics and Chronic. That's Comics, the letter N, Chronic.
We'll see you guys next week.
Woo!
Peace.